Hi, I'm Randy Robison, Live Today TV, back here with one of our favorite guests, comedian extraordinaire, Chonda Pierce. How you doing?
Hi, Randy. This is just the most fun that we have here.
It's good, and you know, you're, as I mentioned earlier, you're like my
Top
bonus
20.
interview rock star. This is the, so.
Like this right now, and then tell all your friends to like it, because I got to beat out the new. Who's ahead of me? Newsboys?
Planet Shakers and Newsboys, yeah.
Oh, we got to get ahead of the Newsboys. That's too much hair for one group.
Yeah, so, but as far as bonus interviews, you're it. So.
Oh, thank you
You're the
very
queen.
much.
You're the queen of the bonus interview. So everybody must be sharing it, which is great. Makes sense. Totally makes sense.
Actually, it's just me.
Is it just you? You hitting
I just
refresh,
keep sharing
refresh,
over
refresh,
and over
refresh?
and over.
So,
Yeah.
I kind of like did a few pop culture things and kind of
Yeah.
a little bit of what's going on in your life. I know we're going to talk about your movie and all that on the broadcast show, and people can go do that. Watch that at livetoday.org. You'll get some great stuff. But this is where we get, you know, the stuff that
The behind the scenes.
This is the behind the scenes. So we can talk about. We just get some random thoughts like
Okay.
Bruce Jenner.
Bruce Jenner. He needs to give back his medals, because he's no longer Bruce, and I think he enjoyed wearing those tights too much, if you would ask me. What is that? Why do we do that? You know, any other time when someone to do something like that to your body, we would call that an illness. But now it's like you get an award, you get celebrated for it. This world's going to hell in a handbasket. That's all I'm saying. But Lord love him, we love him, Bruce.
You've never
Jesus.
been tempted to have a gender change?
A gender change? No, I've been tempted to change people's genders. Can we say that on television?
You just did. Speaking of men.
Speaking of men.
Speaking of men.
Oh my goodness, Randy, this is so weird. I've been single for 1 year and 3 months now. And first time I went out on a date, I pulled off the side of the road and fell apart. And I called my therapist and I said, something is wrong. Why do I feel this way? I'm sobbing, blah, blah. And she was really good. You know, I call my therapist just to make sure I'm not crazy. Because if she says, oh, well, this is exactly how you should feel, okay, then it lets me off the hook. So she said, that's how you should feel.
But how did you feel?
I felt like it was like the truth serum poured over you, that I was alone, you know, that I was single, and that this was in the next thing for me. Yeah. I'm still not sure if it's the next thing for me. I don't know how I feel yet about dating, but I do know I'm getting lots of material.
How do you meet men?
Well, I didn't know there were so many nephews in my building that are single now. You know, every little old lady, my nephew lost his wife. Oh, yeah. And he's like 75. I've been asked out by a 72-year-old, a 70-year-old, a 67-year-old, and finally a 39-year-old. Oh. And I did tell him I was much too old, and he was like, well, he got insulted. Well, you don't know it's too old for me. You should let me make that choice. I go, no, I think let me make that choice. Right. But it's just, the whole dating this time around is so strange. You know, I knew my husband, dated him 7 years before we got married, so we were children. Yeah. And so this is really the first time of really diving into true dating, getting to know people. I'd rather just, can I read your resume and you read mine, and okay, let's get married.
The technology can help.
Well, I did get on one of those online. Okay, I woke up, I had some girlfriends over. This is what my girlfriends do to me. I woke up and my laptop was open with a Post-it note that had a name and a password and my credit card. And they had signed me up for 3 online dating sites. This was costing me a fortune. And one was christianmingle.com, one was match.com, and one was plentyoffish.com. And from what I understand, one's a little looser-gooser, the other one's kind of nice, reputable, and then Christian Mingle, you hope is you know, sure. Christians. Sure. But you see the same pictures on all 3 sometimes. And the pictures that men put of themselves online, I'm telling you, who wants to see a picture of you in your bathroom? And for some of you need to know this. If you're standing in the middle of a really, really messy room, you're not gonna get a date, because I don't wanna come clean your house. They don't even clean their house. If you're living with your mama, I ain't going out with you.
That's funny, because guys just totally don't see the background. They see themselves.
I know.
Yeah.
They go, oh, my shave looks good. I'm gonna take my picture. And then you see the wet towels hanging on the wall, and they're in the bathroom. And then, or they have no shirt on and they're sitting on a Harley, which probably isn't even theirs, and a mullet they started growing in the 70s, and a tooth they haven't brushed in 2 years. So that's my online dating thing. Now, we'll say the Lord gives and the Lord takes away. I am getting the best material of my career.
I bet you are.
But I'm probably never going to get asked out again because I keep using everybody as material.
Do we want to talk about any actual dates?
Well, I've had a couple of nice dates. You know, when a man takes you out on a date and he shows up and tells you that he's here because God sent him, that's a little bit of a red flag to me. Yeah, because I've always feel like God would let me know first.
yeah.
He's going to wake me up.
At least confirm it. Yeah. At least confirm it.
So that's always difficult. And then, you know, I like going out with someone doesn't really know who I am.
That's true.
And that's really nice.
It is.
Because then there's no preconceived notions, you know.
No, there's some truth in that. They get to know you for you, not for their image of someone on stage.
Of who they think I might be. Right. Yeah, that's true. And then, like, I don't like to go out with people that, like one guy knew who I was, and he came and went out with me, and then all he wanted to talk about was how to get going in his career. And could I introduce him to my agent?
Right.
So then you feel really used. So I don't know. I am not. There's one thing I'm learning. Being alone is not terrible. Being lonely is tough. And I have lonely moments. I really do. But I'm okay. I'm doing really good. And I decided, you know, a few months ago, I told a girlfriend of mine, I want to learn to be the very best me I have ever been. Mm-hmm. And then if the Lord brings someone into my life, that will be an icing on the cake. But I don't want to be one of those women that feels like they have to have relationship to complete them. Yeah. I'm not the childbearing age anymore, so that's kind of out of the picture. And intimacy is a beautiful thing, but I had a beautiful intimate relationship with my husband. So, I'd like to have somebody to have dinner with every now and then, but and that pays.
There are some advantages to not having. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, that's true. You know? That is true, and I am blessed. Now there are some that I'm sure think of. You know, I have girlfriends who are single and they're struggling financially, and it took 2 paychecks, and his is gone now, and so it's a difficult time for them. And I don't know how I would be in that situation, but I was the breadwinner in my home for a long, long time, so I'm used to that role. Yeah. But I miss him. I miss him terribly, and I go out to the cemetery and talk to him all the time. Mm. Now I'm at the stage where I fuss at him. I cannot believe you left this undone. You know what I mean? So I'm healing. When you get to that part, you know that you're healing.
Is that what it is? Is that what it is? So what are you doing? You're getting ready to go on tour?
I am. I'm back out on the road, and you know that's what I do. That's what I will always do. I love the live audience. The touring world and the concert world is tough right now. You know, we started out the tour. We've got a couple of cities we're worried about, people coming and showing up, and then you take it personally sometimes, going, oh, great, my career's over. So
what's the website so people can see where you're at and go see you?
Chonda, CHONDA.org is the best way.
So they can go, you got all the cities listed, and they can find the city closest to them?
Absolutely. And then Chonda Pierce on Facebook, and I love Facebook, because I really do answer my mail. And that's the funniest thing. I don't know if you get this here, because if I do answer somebody, then you have 3 emails to prove that you're who you say you are. Is this really Chonda Pierce? It's like, well, how do you prove that? You know, yes, these are really my fingers. I want to take a picture of my fingers typing and go and see, these are my fingers typing.
Just don't do it in the bathroom.
Yeah, I just don't do it in the bathroom. That's exactly right. I don't text you in the bathroom.
What else is going on? You got some film and television projects?
I have a movie coming out October the 27th, and so it's a big deal. It's as raw as it comes. You know, they talk about reality television and how that's reality TV, but it's really all enhanced, and they give you a script and they want it to get ratings. A camera crew started following me around about 3 years ago, and my life literally began to fall apart, and they just captured stuff on film. And we put it all in the can, and then a brilliant man named Rick Altizer sat down and started editing what he felt like the Lord was telling the story of, and that is nothing but God's faithful, sustaining grace in some of the toughest days of your life, and that's what came out on film. And I'm terrified about it. You know, I think we have 500 and some theaters so far that signed up to have it on their screen in Regal Cinemas. And the thought of walking into a room and you're bigger than life on a big stage, you know, you as an entertainer, and I was a little kid wanting to be an entertainer, so that's a dream come true.
Right.
But at this format, I never dreamed it would be this way, and I am nervous because I can tell you the one entity that is going to despise this movie, and that is Satan. Satan is going to hate this movie.
Because this is not a comedy movie.
No, it isn't. Now, there's funny things in between, and funny concert footage here and there. But it is a movie about of truly laughing through the dark, and laughing through tough stuff and showing what God can do, even when you're not feeling funny, and how he can sustain you. And it's a very blatant appeal at the end of it that the only way you get through stuff that I have been able to get through is because of Jesus Christ. And it is so blatantly it's so blatant, the gospel. Yeah. And so I know how the devil works, and he's not gonna like this. And so I pray for protection for myself and my son and my family. I pray that God is glorified. But I don't know, I told somebody the other day, it's either gonna be the greatest swan song at the end of a 25-year career, or I don't know what the Lord's going to do. That your dad was very kind tonight at dinner and said he believes the Lord is really moving me to a new area and a new ministry and new growth. And I can't imagine that because God has surprised me so much so far. I can't believe I'm here talking to Randy, the Randy Robison.
That's how you know it's him.
That's exactly right.
You know you can't take the credit for it.
That's exactly right. Mm-hmm. That's exactly right. And I think it's been that's kind of sometimes been the deterrent of celebrating success too. The world's way is you get a gold record, you hang them on the wall, you get accolades, everybody pats you on the back, you have the Grammys and the Emmys, and you celebrate each other and you give each other trophies. That's the world's way. And I've had those opportunities and those sweet gifts, but I don't feel those accolades, probably, as my shrink would say, probably like I should. I don't celebrate them, I guess, like I should, because I know me. I didn't do any of that. There is no possible way, knowing what I know about me, knowing what I know about my childhood, knowing what I know about my sinful past, that any of that could matter. Only God could make that matter.
You are willing. That's the key.
Yeah, I guess so. That's exactly right. And I am willing, and I love him. I have fussed at him, and he's probably fussed right back at me. Yeah. But I love him. I love him.
I want to take a look at that trailer right now. Laughing in the Dark, the Chonda Pierce story. Watch this.
Enjoy your flat stomach while you can, honey. Didn't we think we were going to have a happy ending? You're going to swell up like a dead fish one of these days. I miss my family.
Would you go steady with me?
It's been a great sacrifice. Death puts a lot of things in perspective. The recognition that you can't do anything over. You can't change anything, or you can never say another word to that human being again. That'll change you. I'm not even dreaming about exercise or anything. I wake up in a puddle, just drenched. And what does a man? He looks over and sees a glistening woman, thinks he's still got it. I don't like it, and I don't have to like it. I have to survive it. I am not the person I was when we started rolling on all of this. And I don't ever want to be that person again. And I don't want to be the person that just spoke those very words. I just want to keep moving forward, keep taking positive steps. This is as private of me as it gets. And it feels a little bit uncomfortable.
I hope people see it. I want everybody to see it, and they can see it at Regal Cinemas.
Yeah, Regal Cinemas. You can go to fathomevent.com. That'll
Okay.
help you decide what Regal Cinema near you, or go to Chonda the movie.
Yeah, okay.
.com, those kinds of things. But my Facebook, you'll get a link.
Here's the thing. It's October
boy.
27th is opening weekend.
Yeah.
So if you're watching this past
October,
that,
yeah.
you missed it, and you probably
Yeah.
go look for it, see where it's available still. But if you're watching this before October 27th, is that right? Yep. Opening weekend is everything in the movie business.
Yeah,
And you got
opening night, yeah.
500-something screens.
Yes.
If you will go and take as many people as you can to opening weekend, they will expand the showing the next
Yes,
weekend.
that's true.
And more people will see it, and
That's
more
true.
people will be blessed. So, I mean, if it's before October 27th, the reason you're watching this is because God wants you to cram that theater if there's
Yay.
one near you. So, anyway, that would be great. And if not, if you're not able to do that, or if you're watching this later, go check it out. It's going to be available.
Yeah,
Eventually, it'll
it
be
will.
available on DVD, online,
Yeah, it
things
will.
like that.
Yeah, it
Maybe
will.
even Netflix or somebody like that will pick it up.
Oh.
So you can, do the
Then
good
you can stay in your pajamas and watch it.
Which, that's what I do.
I think I'll probably go stay in my pajamas and watch it. You know what I want to do when the movie comes out? I told my manager, you want to have a premiere party where, it's all a big celebration. And I said, no, I think I want to take my son and I to go very quietly and slip into the back of some movie theater and just watch quietly. It's that type of, it's a true intimate thing for he and I.
You'll watch
and
the
you'll see my
crowd.
husband on there, yeah. So I think it'll be nice to just have this intimate thing together.
So people go see the movie. You may be in the back watching
I
them
could
watch.
be in the back of the room right now.
Good stuff. Thank you. I got to let you go. You got to do the broadcast show. And people,
Thank you.
again, like I said earlier, you can watch that at lifetoday.org. And if you're watching this, obviously, probably on YouTube, not necessarily so, but probably Google Chonda, because there's so many great clips out there, and good comedy, good interviews, behind the scenes, and good stuff. The queen of social media right here, Chonda Pierce.
Yay!
Thank you for being with us.
Thank you, Andy.